first pass with the wool pad on the hood. As you can see, I went very light on the edges. The reason why I do that is so I don't burn through. The wool pad is very aggressive. So how I make it so I don't burn through, I pretty much just buff the inside areas, also around those washer nozzle holes. If you go over it with the wool pad, the fibers will go into that hole and it'll kind of wear the paint out of the inside of the hole. Really excited how the 3000 GT is coming out. It's just so nice. The camera really doesn't give it justice. It looks really good on camera, but in person it's just so clean. I just can't wait till this whole thing's together and 100% complete. Spent quite a bit of time wet sanding the 3000 GT hood and the fenders, then cutting and buffing them. I still need to hit the hood and the fenders with a little bit of cutting compound on the edges, but you have to be extremely careful not to burn through. So it's very nerve-wracking, just because at that point, if I do burn through, then I have to start the whole process over again. I have to repaint the hood, re-clear it, re-wet sand it, rebuff it, try it all over again. So it's better to, take your time than to try to rush it and then just, mess up and damage the hood. I do want to, once everything is completely finished, all back together, I want to take it and have it clear broad, the whole car clear broad, and then ceramic coated. I saw another 3000 GT. It was a 93 VR4 that somebody had done, and it almost looked fake. It looked so good. So I do want to protect this. I don't want a bunch of rock chips and everything over it. The clear broad will protect the paint. I have spent so much time, just like the Hellcat. Actually, I have more time in this than the Hellcat because I painted the whole car. So I don't want to have all that time and then, instantly have a rock chip on the hood or something like that and just be really mad because I have all this time and effort into it. But yeah, once I hit this with the final stage of polish, it's going to look so much better. There are a few spots like right in the center of the hood. You can't see it, but there's some fine scratches still I need to kind of address and just kind of take care of those. But other than that, it's really shiny, super smooth. All the hand sanding really shows in the final result. I mean, this is just so smooth, so clean, and really going over it without doing a lot of pressure makes sure and guarantees that it's going to be very smooth. I mean, you can see how straight the lights are on the hood, and there's kind of a curve in the hood right there, but you can see just how smooth the edges are on all that stuff, and you can see the rails all the way down the hood. They're completely straight, and that's because all the hand sanding. I mean, you could hit this thing. I could have had this thing painted so much quicker, had the whole process done so much faster if I would have just got a DA with an interface pad, went over it really quick. I mean, I could do a quick paint job, but something like this, something that I'm going to keep for a very long time, the more effort you put into it, the more time you put into it, and the better result you get. So I still need to do a bunch more stuff to this. I'm really glad the hood is getting very close to being done. You can see a 1000 grit scratch right here. I need to take care of that. And the edges, I need to take care of those. You can see that they're still dull. But other than that, those pieces are very close. I need to do the doors. I've already done that quarter panel and the hatch and the wing. I need to do the other quarter panel and both doors. I started working on the cladding. So I high builded one piece of cladding a very long time ago, and this primer, the primer that I use, over time it gets extremely hard. I was trying to sand it with 120. It was not sanding, so I went back over it with some 80 grit, and I'm gonna have to re-high build it. But this piece is super smooth. I used the little block and just kind of did long strokes, and I already had added some filler right here and right here because these things do have a lot of issues. So the main issue that they have, they kind of sink down. Like right there is a bad spot because there's two clips, one right here and one right there. And what happens is when the sun hits it and kind of heats it up and bakes it over time, it just kind of warps those areas as well as around the clips. So that's why there is so many, you know, spots. You can see that there's a clip here. It's a high spot. Same about right here. So just kind of wanted to make these decently smooth to begin with. And I'm pretty sure over time they're going to do the same exact thing. So at least they'll be nice and smooth to begin with once I put them on, and I'll have these clear broad. I also want to have the, you know, the doors and the fenders clear broad first before I put the side skirts and the cladding on. The reason I want to do that is so when I do put the cladding and everything on, there is clear broad underneath it. The reason I want to do that is so over time, this stuff it just is clipped in. So it does, you know, kind of jog back and forth. The clear bra will just protect the paint from it wearing through the paint. Hit both pieces of the cladding with some high build primer, let it sit in the sun for about 2 hours. So I should be able to sand this stuff tomorrow and get it ready to go. After high building the door cladding, I started sanding it with 180 grit, but I think that's as far as I'm gonna go today. I don't have 180 on Stickum, and I wanna use or hook and loop, whatever you wanna call it, and I wanna use a smaller block. I think I have a smaller adhesive block at home. So I'm gonna go grab that and then come down here tomorrow and finish up sanding the cladding, then let it sit for a day, then hit it with some more high build, then hit it with 320, then hit it with some sealer, 600, and then we can paint it. But everything else is coming out really nice. The door, I almost finished sanding both doors and getting those good to go. But tomorrow I'm also gonna, well, maybe I won't get these sanded tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure. Tomorrow I'm gonna head up to Denver and grab at the LKQ yard. They have a 3000 GT. It looks like the side skirts are good. It's really hard to tell in pictures, but my side skirts, what happens is in the back, they either crack on the bottom from hitting stuff from the wheel flicking stuff in the side skirt and cracking them, or back here, there you can see there's three spots somewhere, I think 1, 2, 3, but in between those, it warps and it doesn't look really good. And I don't know of a really good way to repair that. So without just putting a bunch of filler, and I don't want to do that because it won't look right, because there is gaps behind it, and those gaps air flows through the side skirt and then back out of it, which really doesn't make sense, but I want it to actually look right instead of having a bunch of filler on it. So hopefully the side skirts at LKQ are good to go. Hopefully I can get in. I'm not exactly sure if they're letting people into the yard. Hopefully they are. They should be really quick to pull. There's 2 10s on them, and then there's a bunch of pop clips, so shouldn't have a big issue there. But I'm really happy with how the 3000 GT is coming out, how good it looks. Everything is just spot on. All the time and effort I put into it is really paying off. So that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.